Hello and welcome to StudyIQ guys. My name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily Hindu analysis video. In the evening, the PIB videos come. In the morning, the Hindu analysis videos. They come both in Hindi and English language. And the PDF you will get on the Telegram channel. And these days, these lessons, they are totally exam oriented and especially for prelims, because I'm discussing many MCQs and much detail I'm giving to you. So do not miss any of the lesson, and please do not miss PIB lessons. I'm again requesting to you people, please do not miss PIB lessons. These are extremely important, and this is all about questions and their details and important facts which are appearing in the PIB data. So that 10 to 15 minutes lesson daily is going to be very crucial for you this year. And whatever support you are showing to my lessons and the StudyIQ channel, that is really appreciable, and million thanks to all of you people. Please telling me all my lags, please telling me all the difficulties that you are facing. I am trying my best to make this session the best session according to the exam point of view. So I would request, please do not hesitate to criticize. Please do not hesitate. Whatever you think, please tell me in a straight way. But if you like these videos, please spread them, please share them with your friends also. So let's start. These are the numbers. There you can call and you can ask for these pen drive courses. And you can visit the StudyIQ's website also. All these important updated courses are available, and they are gonna save you lakhs of rupees. Now, the words that I found, and you see the importance of self-study is rising day by day. More and more people on the in the top list, they are getting selected just with their self-study, no coachings and all. But some guidance is certainly needed. That is also accepted. So total dependence is not good, but some guidance is really important. Otherwise, you will be lost into the ocean of informations, and you will not be able to understand that what to read, what not to read, what are the limits of this particular topic of this knowledge, or anything that you will see as in the name of information facts, or the organizations, their extensions and important details of these schemes and all. So you may get lost. So some guidance is needed. So your questions are invited always. Now, MCQ 1 that I gave to you yesterday, Libya is located between Chad and Mediterranean Sea. Always in these options, do not go with the prejudice in the map questions. Always see what is being asked here and what are the options given. So you see in this map, Algeria and Tunisia, they are located adjacent to each other, and Libya is between Algeria and Egypt. So that option is not given. Algeria and Niger, these are here, Libya is not there in between them. So Mediterranean Sea it is, and it is the country of Chad. So Libya is located perfectly between both of them. So the option C would be right here. Sudan and Egypt, they are here. So these are common questions, but if you do not revise the map, if you do not go through Atlas daily, then these kind of questions, they may take your extra marks, okay, because you will mark them correct, but they would be actually wrong, and negative marking can be there. Next question, North Sea and Baltic Sea. First, see the location of North Sea and Baltic Sea. Always remember, northeast to UK there is North Sea, okay, and Baltic Sea is with these Baltic states like Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Poland is there south to it. So this is Baltic Sea, and the country perfectly located between both these seas is Denmark. Although some part of Sweden is also there, but Denmark would be the correct option here. And you see Norway, Sweden and Finland, these are Scandinavian countries. This is Scandinavian region. Okay, so you must remember that, and you must remember the locations of these countries and the boundaries also. You see Estonia, Latvia, Belarus, Ukraine, in an order they are touching the boundary of Russia. So there is a common boundary between these countries and Russia. And Lithuania, it is not touching Russia, but you see this part is again Russian part. So these kind of questions are very tricky. And Poland is also there. So this part of this map is very important, as the Middle East portion is important. So go through these water bodies and the boundaries of countries. Next, World Health Day, celebrated on 7th of April. This is the same date when in 1948, not 45, WHO came into existence. So just to commemorate that particular occasion, on the World Health Assembly, they started celebrating World Health Day, and only one is the correct answer because second is wrong. You can see here Global Health Council was there, and they started celebrating it on 7th of April. This time the theme is universal health, health for all. And apart from that, WHO is one of the 8 official World Health Day is one of the 8 official global health campaigns marked by WHO. World Tuberculosis Day is also there, which recently passed by. World Immunization Week, World Malaria Day, World No Tobacco Day, AIDS Day on 1st December, World Blood Donors Day, Hepatitis Day. These are very important days dedicated to these important diseases. Okay, so WHO's role is also very important in India's strategy regarding its healthcare sector, and many programs it had run and many are going on. So very important body. It's a specialized body of United Nations. Next question is also very important. This year it is a question you will be looking in the question paper for sure, because recently launched related to environment issue and related to the cooling issue, where we are also working on the efficient cooling. So this question would be very important. First, global conference on synergies between Paris Agreement and the Sustainable Development Agenda, Kigali Amendment and Sustainable Development for All, Kigali Cooling Efficiency Program, all are coming together, and this particular global cooling coalition is possible. The first global conference happened, and it was not born in Switzerland, it was Denmark's Copenhagen. Okay, so that's the answer. So first is wrong, second is correct, because all these are coming together for this global cool coalition, and it is regarding the climate change issue, because more and more refrigerators and ACs we are using, and they are releasing HFCs. You see, Kigali Amendment was regarding the HFCs, hydrofluorocarbon, which came as a replacement of CFCs. They are efficient in controlling the ozone depletion, but they are a potent greenhouse gas. So Kigali Amendment happened, and more than 194 countries, they agreed to remove HFCs in phased manner. So HFCs was important here, and they are rising the average temperature of this earth. So this global cool coalition is regarding the efficient cooling and efficient air conditioners and all these coolers and all these cooling appliances. Okay, so that's important. Only 2 is the correct answer here. You can read the details here. These Kigali Cooling Efficiency Program, KCEP, Sustainable Energy for All, C for All, and other important officials, other bodies, they are coming together for this. Next, India's electric mobility transformation, progress to date and future opportunities. This was the theme, and this important report was released by Niti Aayog recently. The answer is Niti Aayog. We had discussed this issue in the PIB data 2-3 days back. So refer to that. Now the articles. We will discuss this important article, important for GS paper 2. It is about the Supreme Court and its transparency issues. Next, playing politics over Golan Heights. We will discuss that. Very important for the international politics. GS paper 2 would be important here. This article, this editorial, and this particular interview, they both are talking about the same issue, where new phase is started in Maldives, and the Maldivian Democratic Party, it has got the landslide victory, and Mohammad Nasheed and Soleh, they both have actually come into limelight again, and Soleh is remaining president for the next 5 years or maybe more. So this particular situation is favorable for India, because their party MDP is actually pro-Indian. They are not pro-China like Mohammad Yamin, who was the last president, and he actually got indulged into the debt trap by China, and the debt is now equal to 1/4 of their GDP, and now they have to pay it back, and actually they are facing economic problems there. But you see, now they are promising that we will manage these issues, these challenges, and Mohammad Nasheed and Soleh, their important partnership here was important for India, because they were pro-Indian and they do not want to get trapped into China's policies, its dominance, and its economic important bullying, you may say. So they know India is a good partner. Solely invited Mr. Modi in their oath-taking ceremony also. So things are becoming positive. But you see, we should not take these things for granted. This is the issue. Things will not happen automatically. We will have to maintain this relationship, and we will need to reciprocate in some manners. And we need to see the China's influence here also, because the location of Maldives is very, very crucial for us. It is very near to Lakshadweep Islands in Indian Ocean region that we are focusing a lot, and they need our help for sure. And when the party is a pro-Indian in its inclination, then it becomes much more important, a responsibility for us that we should maintain here. Otherwise, you see, China is a potent player. It may change the winds, and out of its economic power, it may influence this party also. So we need to be careful here. So that is all. We will discuss this important issue of crorepati's in parliament, and it's an ethical issue. This is political one, not important for us. Next, open up the Supreme Court. The issue is regarding Supreme Court's denial over the revelation of its judicial judges' assets and the collegium system reports. Both are being blocked by Supreme Court's constitutional bench, and it says that the revelation in RTI we cannot allow because it's about our independence, it's about our secrecy, and it may destroy our important working. We cannot avail these things to public. You see, when we see Supreme Court is always giving great decisions, always maintaining neutrality, always maintaining the democratic values, constitutional values, then there is no problem. But there are many issues. When Supreme Court is giving some decisions, especially after Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi came, then many decisions, there are allegations that they are less troublesome for ruling party, ruling government. This thing has been seen. If you say that these are favorable to government, that would be wrong, but they are less threatening and less problematic for the government. The way the person Ravi Shankar was declared as interlocutor in the Ayodhya issue, now in some election MCC court issues like the biopic which is going to be released, regarding that Supreme Court has denied everything to get involved, and some issues are certainly there which are more towards less trouble for the ruling party. So we are looking at these things, and it is not the normal working of the Supreme Court, but now many things are being blocked by Supreme Court. So the problem is that Supreme Court is the ultimate authority. It is the last resort for the weakest people, and if the trust is gone with Supreme Court or the judiciary, then nothing can save our democracy. We have been a vibrant democracy, but many threats are certainly there. Maybe political class may say that there is a threat for Hinduism, there is a threat for some other religion or something like that. That is true or not, we cannot say, but that is certainly true that these kind of tendencies, these kind of mobocracies, these kind of democratic working, the violation of courts, and the power we see with the politicians, and the elections are not fair, and many allegations are there. These kind of things are certainly a threat for democracy and democratic processes. And who is going to suffer? The poor is going to suffer in that, because the powerful and the rich classes, they will anyhow settle their lives, but the poor, that person would not have any way to go. And when the path towards the Supreme Court or the judiciary, if that is blocked, if that trust is gone, then certainly there would be very bad condition in our country, because maximum number of people, they are living in their life in poverty conditions, and they are facing many troubles of unemployment and all. So this would be a crisis, and we need to manage this thing. If you look at this particular case where RTI demanded some information regarding the assets, what is the problem with the judges' assets? Because they are wielding a powerful position, and when power comes, there are possibilities of corruption. So that is why revelation about the assets is necessary, because it is India and there is corruption everywhere. So revelation is important. And you see, this thing is protected, where you do not want to give your personal details without a reason, then this thing is protected in the RTI. And it says that if the matter is not of public importance, then you do not need to reveal anything here. Okay, so the protection is already there. After that, if you say that we want to maintain secrecy here, then there is a question mark. Next, regarding the collegium system, it is under a lot of allegations. Already Supreme Court quashed and it declared the NJAC as null and void, and the issue was legitimate that political executives interference should not be there, because it has been very harmful for the unbiased judicial working. And we saw since Indira Gandhi's times that they always wanted a committed judiciary, but because of that reason, the exclusivity of judicial appointments by collegium system, that was to be maintained. But you see, that provision we can accept, but how can we accept that everything regarding judiciary, regarding Supreme Court is under blanket, and they, all things are secret? You cannot reveal assets, you cannot reveal the collegium system's details and all, and it is the time where everything is to be scrutinized. People should discuss all important matters, and it is about the judiciary. You see, you suppose a condition where the judges, they some of them, they become corrupt. Maybe we are supposing this condition, it is not truth. We are supposing that they have become corrupt and they have this nexus between the government and the judiciary. There is a nexus, and they would suggest those names who will be committed for the ruling party, and in that situation it is indirectly a committed judiciary, because the process is secret. So nobody knows whom they are selecting, whom they are rejecting. Recently they rejected 2 senior people and they selected 2 junior people from them. There was no issues of merit, but why they removed their names? So no questions could be put up there, because it is all under secrecy, and they did not allow anything to reveal. So in the case where some people are selected who are to be Supreme Court judges or High Court judges, and they are pro-government, and they can manipulate their decisions according to their ideological inclination, so that thing can be possible, because the issue is totally secret. So that is the problem with the secrecy. So things should not be that much secret, and we cannot afford that kind of secrecy in the democracy. And we are trusting a lot today. If we talk about today's situation, then we are trusting blindly on the judiciary, and this trust should not go away. If any kind of allegations are there, then there must be clear-cut explanations and the clarifications for that. And these blankets, they should be removed somehow. There must be some windows so that some things can be seen. Total secrecy cannot be legitimate here. That is the issue. So with the collegium issue and with the basic issue of these RTI and all, I have explained to you. The same things are given here. Okay, and you see in the questioning of NJAC, already the collegium system that became under a lot of scrutiny, and they themselves accepted this thing that there are some reforms which are needed, and without that collegium system would be an imperfect one. So we need to make it perfect. So that is why there are some problems, and if problems are already there, and if you want to maintain total secrecy, then things can go wrong. Okay, maybe things are okay today, but in future there are possibilities, and you are opening these avenues where corruptions may sneak in. Okay, so that is the issue, and according to the opportunity, they are giving their own reasons. Even Attorney General, which are normally putting government's stand, and they are going against judiciary. In this case, the Attorney General argued that disclosing the correspondence of the collegium would destroy judicial independence. Means they are supporting Supreme Court in the secrecy, and we are discussing here that secrecy can open ways for corruption, ways for indirectly committed judiciary. So there are issues. Okay, So maybe a total public revelation would not be possible, and maybe that would not be legitimate, but some windows should be certainly there. Okay, so that's the issue given here in this particular article. Next, playing politics over the Golan Heights. After 6 days war of 1967, the territory of Golan Heights was captured by Israel, and it was the part of Syria before that. In 1981, they annexed it, and you see, it is the issue. This article is regarding the open support for Israel by USA, and USA has been the biggest power till now, and now the power is declining. That is also accepted by many countries internationally. But the open support by Trump administration to the Israel causes, and its illegitimate right over occupied territories, and the laws and order it want to impose there. Although these things were not allowed by United Nations, and they said that whatever law Israel want to impose on occupied territories, we will not allow that, like the territories of Golan Heights and all, and some illegitimate colonies that came up, and those were not allowed by United Nations. But even after that, Trump administration is openly and challenging these things, and they are supporting Israel's every move. And you see, we see a plot here in both the countries, Israel and America. The extremism in the ideology, the right-wing rise is happening. Trump won the election because of their right-wing supporters, and the corruption issues are there on Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. But in this election time, where on the 9th of April they are going to go on elections, so at this particular time, he's only talking about the security issues and how Israel is gonna win over all the adjacent territories and all, and they are not gonna compromise on any of the issues, and these annexed territories, they will remain with Israel. And it is again a nationalistic fervor that we are observing in our country also. So it is all the rise of right-wing ideology all over the world, and especially with the countries like America and Israel, and we are also becoming very close to these nations. So you see, what is the problem here? The problem is that what you are trying to justify here, is that thing ethically right or wrong? Everyone knows it was the part of Syria, and it was occupied by Israel, and still many countries, most of the countries, they maintain that these are occupied territories. We cannot accept them as Israel's, because Palestine is also a very important issue, because it used to be a Palestine, and after World War I, controversies came, and in 1948 the establishment of Israel was very controversial. It was not a country before that, and on the basis of religion this country was made, and now it's a very progressive and very much fierce country in this region, and it has won many territories out of USA's help. So USA has helped always, and many examples are there in the history, like this Israel-Arab conflict was there in 1967. It could win all these territories because of the America's support. George W. Bush in 2004, it said that we cannot go back to the situation where less territories were there with Israel in 1949, where first wars erupted after the establishment of Israel. In 1967, it occupied many territories. So more territories were added to Israel's occupation. So W. Bush said that we cannot go back to 49. We will support the annexation and these territories of Israel. So that was again a open support to Israel. And if we more go back towards history, then in 1917, Lord Balfour, the British Foreign Secretary, declared that His Majesty's government at that time view with favor the establishment in Palestine or of a national home for Jewish people. Means it was not the national home, it was not the Jewish territory there. Israel was not there. But in 1917, the Balfour Agreement established these particular things. And you see, now in the present situation, Trump administration is going to cross this Balfour Agreement also, and the territories which were not even there in Balfour Agreement, those particular areas are also annexed by Israel, and that is supported by Trump. So that means it's openly, blatantly belying all these understandings, international cooperations, and they are inviting more and more troubles. Because you see, south to Israel there is Syria, and the presence of Iran and Russia that is rising there. Many groups are supported by Iran there, and in the north also groups like Hezbollah and Hamas in Palestine, they both are also supported by Iran country. And Iran openly says that we can never accept Israel, and we do not believe that there is a country like Israel. We do not understand its establishment, and we can never support that. So every move of Iran is against Israel, and that also justifies America's moves here. And openly they are a kind of a war with Iran. The economic sanctions are there, and every move is criticizing Iran from America's side. So Iran is also going totally against Israel and America's positions, and Russia is supporting Iran in that. In the Yemen crisis, we saw the Houthis, they were supported by Shia groups of Iran, and they were fighting the Arabian forces, and those were supported by America. So it's a major conflict, and in the future this situation can further extend to a very large extent. The wars in Syria and all, they recently concluded, and all withdrawal issues are going on, but again some conditions are here, and they are centered around the Palestine issue, and things are getting severe and severe day by day. And they are saying that we will not compromise here. That means some bigger conflict can be there. And now polls are there. We are balancing the situation between Russia and America very efficiently. But you see the rise of right-wing politics domestically in all these countries. That is a cause of concern. Maybe in the future, because their agenda is against Arabian Muslims, and also anti-Muslim thinking is again on a rise. We saw a shooting of a mosque in New Zealand, and the guy openly supported Trump, and he said that I'm a Trump follower. And these kind of sentiments are on a rise. And in our country also, we see majority is trying to dominate the minority. That is openly a case. Recently we saw in Assam also, some people were beating. They were a mob, and there was a single person, and he was being beaten because he was running a meat shop there. So these kind of incidents are really scary, and we are not paying attention here. That is a real cause of concern. So you see, these things are linked. The domestic politics and the international politics is linked here. In the future, if the fight is on the basis of this particular ideological crisis and the religion issue and the cause of extremist thinking, then certainly likewise countries, they may come together, and there may be expectations from India also by America and Israel, because we are becoming more and more closer to these countries. But we are also with Russia. We have also balanced our relation with Russia, and there is a very nice balancing here. So this can be a dilemma-like situation for India if any kind of war-like situation that develops in this area. And Iran is at a very high risk, because America is all behind Iran these days, and things are becoming really scary in the region. So that is why we also have to be prepared here, and we all should support the peace that should be there internationally, because things may go wrong within minutes these days. These are all ego wars, and all countries are efficient, and technologies are becoming dangerous and more dangerous day by day. ASAT technology, like examples we all have. So our global stakes are rising, so we need to be very, very careful about these developments. So this is all given in this article, and it says that when United Nations supports a particular move, why America is going against that, and don't they want peace in this world, and the global response to these issues which are going on, that is also very tepid. So that's a issue of international peace and balancing the relations and maintaining a decorum on the international platform. Next, Crores in Parliament. Out of 521 sitting MPs in Lok Sabha, they have assets more than 1 crore rupees. Telangana Rashtra Samitis and TDPs, their examples are given. TRS candidate is having 895 crore rupees assets. And these are official declarations. The reality is way bigger than that. Always it has seen in the elections time. 338 crore rupees the net worth of declared assets of a candidate in 2014 election by TDP, and one was having 600 crore rupees property. So these kind of situations we need to see. It is not their fault actually, I'm telling you. This is the fault of the people who are behaving in a so foolish manner that they are not able to differentiate between these people. They do not go behind the merit. They do not look for a candidate who is having a particular record of lifelong sacrifice, lifelong legitimate ways of life, lifelong record of working for the poor, or maybe living a decent life. At least the decent people, they should be elected in the politics. Why we are selecting these people who are having a money mind always, and they are big businessmen and they always want to influence policies according to that. We are selecting actor and actresses who have always been money minded people, and they do not have anything to do with the poor. Recently we saw examples of some actresses, and they were coming to fields by helicopter, and they are trying to take a picture here with the with these crops and all, and they. So this is something that is very concerning. Why we are selecting, why we are giving votes to these kind of people who are big shots, and they do not have any kind of credibility in the poverty issues, and they do not have any experience of the agrarian class, and what they would decide about the issues. Nobody asked question to these people. And you see today, you tell me, is this a democracy when even the leaders, they do not allow people to wear black clothes in their rallies, because they have a fear that they would try to protest about something. They would raise these flags. They even do not allow the black undergarments, because they fear that somebody who's raise his vest in the air, and he would submit a protest there. Even that is not allowed. So what kind of democracy is this? They are standing 1 kilometer away from the crowd, so that nobody can ask a question, nobody can even come to these people, closer to them. And during their tenure for 5 years, nobody can approach them. Only the rich and powerful people, they can manage to meet the MPs and MLAs. So what kind of democracy is this? And openly, the case of these black flag raising or black clothes, that is totally apparent. It is my personal experience. Many times in rallies, these people are hounded by these policemen, and they search for their clothes, and they would even beat them. They would throw them out if somebody has worn a black shirt or a black pant or even a black undergarment. So this is really concerning, and we do not care about these issues. And this is the reality, and this is again a reality that these big shots, they are winning elections by all ease, and whatever comes to their mind, they are telling it, whether it's true, whether it's a lie. So politics is at the lowest level. But who has brought this politics to this level? We, the people of India, we have brought this, because half of us, we do not vote the genuine people or the intelligent people, intellectual people. They do not go to voting, and the people who are less educated, who are emotional, who easily provoked, these kind of people go to vote, and they do not know what is the credibility, what is the merit of the candidate, and we should elect that person or not. And there is no evaluation ground, there is no parameter with these people. If these are people are given 100 rupees, 200 rupees or some gift, then they would vote for that party. So this is the reality of India, and that is the negative side of democracy. So this is the responsibility of the able people who are educated, who are intellectual. But again, a different problem is there. These are called anti-national these days. So who is gonna raise the problems? Who is gonna question these powerful politicians or the business people who are coming into politician? There has been separation between businessmen and the politicians in 80s and 90s when corruption was there. But today this line is blurred. All the businessmen, they want to come into politics because politics is the biggest business. And we saw the issue of election bonds and all, and there is a very high opaqueness these days, less transparency, and officially they are claiming that we are becoming more transparent, but in reality if you go in the details, then certainly they have made process very much opaque, and they have opened the grounds for black money and corruption. So this is apparent, but we do not want to say something about that. And the blind following we see all over this country. And who are the blind followers who are gonna vote there very enthusiastically, and they do not have any evaluation grounds. They do not see that that person is having a background of professionalism in raising these issues of the poor, or if that person is just coming here just because he's popular, he's making movies, he's singing songs, and he has come to politics, and that would be the best choice. You tell me, in the smallest of the decision, we need professionalism, we need expertise in the smallest of the decision of our life or any workplace decisions, and it is about managing this country. These people are having the biggest authority, and there is no expertise required here. You see the joke of this democracy. So that is the problem, and very courageously we need to raise these points, otherwise we won't be able to save our democracy. Next, this is a repeated issue. I have told you about this Dhanush Artillery Ordnance Factory Board on Monday handed over first batch of 6 Dhanush artillery guns. In total 118 artillery guns they would be handed over in next 4 years, and it's a upgraded version of Bofors artillery. That was a Swedish Bofors gun that was procured in 1980s, and it is an upgraded version of it. Next, GPS global positioning system is integrated to it. All these night vision cameras, thermal imaging, all these things are there with the new machine here, and these are important upgradation in the existing Bofors guns. Okay. Next, in the VPAT case, Supreme Court has decided that there must be at least 5 machines, 5 VPAT machines that would be verified and checked instead of existing 1. Today this is the rule that only 1 would be checked, but now at least 5 would be checked, so that the legitimacy issue that would be maintained here. Sri Lanka seeks enhanced military training from India. The Mitra Shakti exercise, it's a joint military exercise. It's a 6th edition that recently concluded, and Sri Lanka demanded more and more cooperation from India's side. We have expertise here and they want our support, so that's important. And Slinex is a different exercise that is for Navy, it is for military, so this difference you should remember always. Next, US designates Iran's elite military unit as a terrorist organization. We discussed about the issue of Iran and USA, and every move is against Iran by USA. They declared their important Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, that is the most important force there. That's the elite military force there, and USA has declared it a terrorist group. So many restrictions can be there internationally, and you see this is very important for Iran because it is supporting the clerics which came into power after 1979 revolution, and since then clerics are very important Iran. They have progressed too much in Iran, but recently we saw protests against them by the youth of Iran. They want more and more liberal ways, but they are conservative in these ways. So this is how this opportunity is in a way exploited by Americas, and they say that these are terrorist groups, and these clerics and all, they are supporting terror groups, they are financing terror organizations. Okay, so remember that IRGC, they may ask you IRGC is related to which country. Next, IIT Madras tops centers higher education ranking. National institutional ranking framework has been there for a few years now, and IIT Madras is on the top. ISC Bangalore, which is normally on the top of these indexes, is on the second place. IIT Delhi, Bombay and Kharagpur, they are on the respective places. But you see, the unfortunate condition is that internationally none of them is appearing in the top 20, 30 or 50. That is the problem. But anyhow, we need to maintain these things. We need to improve a lot here. We need to raise our educational budgets. Without that, these frameworks, they would not be of much use. So that's the thing. These are the questions. Try their answers and look for the additional data. Extremely important these things would be, and you will feel the importance in the prelims examination this year. Thanks a lot. Keep watching. It was Amit Sani. Send me a request here, and the PDF you will get on this particular